Hello, hello. It's been a few weeks. I always like to make sure at least my energy is like in a good place. You know, I'm not gonna do like readings if I'm like in some sort of like weird energy. Not that I like technically was, but I was like traveling and like hanging out and enjoying what 2020 is has brought us to. So I'm gonna do a collective reading and just check out like what's going on collectively. So union spirit, union. What is going on? What is happening in union right now? Seven of Cups, emotional confusion, could be a lot of options on the table right now, decisions to be made. I'm seeing the square with the triangle, which is like, I feel like what this is saying is like man right now is really choosing his divinity. Like it's the Trinity, right? The Holy Trinity, and the square represents like man-made things. I'm hearing that there are just a lot of choices and decisions right now of where we are putting our energy. And it's kind of causing some emotional confusion, but it's also kind of forcing us to look at what is inside of us, what spiritual, oh my goodness, this show. Hold on, let me just mute this. I got scandal going on in the background. It's no way. But just for a lot of us right now, I think that there's just so many like what ifs and a lot of different potentials that are happening. And for us to be really mindful about, if it's draining our emotions, if it's causing confusion, those kind of things. Let's keep going. What about the Seven of Cups? Yeah, okay, the Hierophant. So basically, what kind of choices are we aligning with? Are we being secure or insecure when we look at all these options? Are we being drained emotionally? Are we letting our emotions get the best of us? Or are we using our power and our authority to really look at the signs, look at the spirit within? Like the Holy Trinity is within each of us, the Hierophant, the knowledgeable master of tradition, of reading, the esoteric, just the spiritual, and bringing that to like law and order in a way, like I'm seeing how, the moon or whatever that is, like a crescent. I think it's like a woman and a man. Basically, there's also the triangle as well. For me, this is saying a lot here. I think that union energy is absolutely saying that there's an emotional tug of war on us right now. There's so much distracting us that's really pulling us to look at how we are constructing our inner divinity, our inner knowing, our inner sovereignty. Are we getting drained by the external, or are we using our internal power and what we know to balance and bring forth kind of, just a little bit more emotional security to ourselves? I'm gonna keep going. Oh, okay. Queen of Swords. Strength. And Hanged Man. Okay, like, I mean, if this doesn't tell you that God or the divine is truly, truly stepping in to tie our hands so that we can authentically honor the truth of what we know, no more bullshit, no more emotional confusion, no more fluff, so that we truly honor our inner sanctity with respect and diligence, coming from a space of not necessarily ego, but confidence, knowing that you can tame the beast, knowing that through all this emotional insecurity that God or the divine or yourself, really, it's just all you, your higher self is protecting you. These setbacks, whatever sort of like, like, what do I really honestly think about this? Is this actually draining me? You know what? I don't know if I really even like this situation. Is it going to be a terrible thing if I move forward? Like all of these sort of things that are pulling and draining on you, distracting you from what you actually innerly already know, that is your authority, that is your power of truth, that is your self-sovereignty as the divine lion, king power that you are. She's writing this, right? Like, you are the sovereign power, okay, right? That the divine within you is forcing you then now to look at these things. The hangman is like physical setback. Your hands are tied. There's been a divine intervention to have you look at all this emotional drainage or where you are confused, where you're maybe putting yourself out not in line with what you know is good, is aligned for you. This is your intuition. This is honoring your truth, cutting out the bullshit, writing out maybe your own ego and inner demons, taming your own beast, you know? That is what this setback is for. That is what you are being asked to consider. Where are all the places that my ego is blocking my truth? Where are all the points in my life that I'm not honoring the power of who I am? I am God, sovereign, free. Sovereign, free. I am God. You are the creator of your life. If you're in a setback, if you're having these contemplations or emotional confusions, drainings, or just feeling like, wow, there's just so many like things happening, you know, and there's maybe nothing you can do about it except consider it, and it's having you look at your outside world, like what the fuck is going on in the outside world? Because you're supposed to turn into your inner trinity. You're supposed to honor your inner being and that inner beast, you know. If it is driving you crazy, if it's making you emotionally crazy, you need to tame the beast. How do you do that? Honoring your truth, stepping into your sovereignty, respecting that your divine self, you are the divine, you are God. You have created this. You are the spirit that is telling you to step back and consider these things. Consider where I am not being God, where I am not being sovereign, where I am not honoring truth and honesty. Maybe I am just being cold-hearted with my ego. Maybe I'm letting my emotions get the best of me, where I am manipulating my power, you know? There's a lot of things to consider with these cards here, guys. This ain't just always sugar and rainbows, you know? This is work. This is inner work that has to be done. Looking at our shadows, shining a powerful authority. I am the authority of my life. I take the charge. See the sword and the sword? I take charge of this beast, of all these things that get me. And God has my back, especially when I'm called to pull back and rest. Look at these two sides, right? Resting in between, because it's both. We are both balancing in honor and true and light, right? Taking the emotional confusions, the frustrations, the drainings, just the day-to-day life. There's so many choices, options, and paths in our day, right? Like every choice, every single moment is a choice. I mean, that's a lot of choice that can confuse us, that can put us in this stalemate where we're like, okay, are we traversing this to get to this? Are we just like going through this and then here, you know, it's always going to be a journey. There's always going to be, options. How are you going to go about your journey? How are you going about your journey? And I'm hearing slaying your demons. How are you slaying your dragons? How are you showing up? How are you allowing your divine to show up with integrity and honesty? You know, is there a card missing? Oh, there it goes. Okay, the Hierophant, it fell. Even these two cards look alike. And then with the triangle over here too. It's like, do you guys see the point? These are the top point. Like, there's a point, there's a point, there's a point. I don't know, the hat is a point. I don't know why I'm getting called to the points. Okay. The point is, maybe the point is how we are looking at our paths in front of us, the many options in front of us, and honoring the integrity and the journey as well. I think that the Strength card is also about honoring the journey. You know, when you're in a setback, when the divine, when God or yourself, when there's really nothing you can do and you have to take a pull back and to look at yourself and to honor your inner strength and your inner sovereignty, your royalty, your king, your queen, who you are, royalty. To make that choice, I'm going to choose my self-sovereignty. I choose to be free. I choose to allow the divine to work on my behalf, even when I can't see what's happening and I don't know what's going on. Even when I'm emotionally drained and confused, I will trust in God. I will trust in my sovereignty and in my power and in myself as the manifestation of spirit. My dear friend just told me something so powerful. She told me, you know what? The body is the actual manifestation of the spirit. It blew my mind, guys. Like, it's like, because I know our body speaks to us. Like, I've studied biology. Like, as someone who's spiritual, I'm like, okay, yes, we listen to our body speaks to us. But I never considered it in that way before. That the body was created because our spirit came here and has a purpose. Our spirit, our divineness, who we are as God. And there's many paths, of course, that we're going to go choosing. Every day is a choice, you know. How are we using it, though? Are we using it to manipulate and subject ourselves or in others? Are we honoring our ego or our confidence? Because you are allowed to be whole in yourself. You don't have to bite the bullet for anyone. Yes, there is atonement. Yes, there is a way that you can make good on make good on your promises. But you should never have to suffer. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to have emotional confusion endlessly. It's to lead you, right, into more of your divine self where you pull back. Where's the lion? Or I'm sorry, strength. You pull back into yourself and you say, you know what, I'm going to honor myself with the truth. Like the Queen of Swords, she's not about to disrespect herself. Like as a woman, it ain't happening anyways. But this is the Queen of Swords. Strong, lion heart. Integrity though, love, purity, in the face of the divine and love. See, we're faced with these options and these emotional confusions so that we step into our Hierophant power and we deliver justice divinely to ourselves. And you know, maybe others are watching, maybe others are inspired, but we step into this energy, right? We pull ourselves into this energy when we are faced with choices and options. Wow, okay. These two just like came out. 5 of Swords and 10 of Cups. So I feel like Spirit's just trying to say for a lot of us who feel like we're not getting the fullness of our emotional fulfillment right now. It's really hard, I think, like this whole like lockdown, quarantine, not being able to like socially be with each other is like emotionally draining us. Like I think a lot of us are like, where's my friends? Like what happened? How could they do this? Or like even just kind of waking up to the reality of like, you know, there's a lot of emotionally confusing things being shown and revealed to us. And where do we get our fulfillment and our emotional, you know, happily ever after when we're feeling so betrayed and we feel like we've lost so much? I mean, it's oh my God, I almost said November. What the? It's September, right? And emotionally, this year has really tried us. It's really made us feel like, wow, like, did we get played? Did we get used? The emotional fulfillment, like it's confusing. There's an emotional betrayal felt right now. But that's okay. Why? Because you're supposed to feel these things. You're supposed to get set back so that you think about it in truth and honesty and see, well, where the f was I all in my ego and kind of just, you know, being very what's the word? I was going to say precarious, but I don't even think that's the right word because I'm like, what does that even mean? If anyone knows what that means, I feel like that's the right word, but it's just like where I was just being really like unfocused with my energy, like just throwing it anywhere. Like, was I just being all egotistical with it? Because now I can harness it and I can be a master. This setback, this emotional betrayal that you feel from maybe even just like the divine, if you're blaming, I feel like maybe there's some sort of like why God, or like why situation, like why is this happening, why is this unfolding, why am I being tested emotionally, why am I fighting for my emotional happiness, you know? Because you maybe were not choosing to stand in your sovereignty. How are you showing up for yourself? Is it truthfully respecting the divine of the light and the dark? Or is it kind of just like, woe is me, playing the victim? Because the 5 of Swords is a loss, a betrayal, feeling as though you got played, with the 10 of Cups, with the emotional fulfillment and the bliss. If there's emotional confusion about betrayal, this setback has only been given to you by yourself, okay, for your higher development, so that you turn into the straight sovereign that you are. The straight sovereign that you are destined to be as God made you. I mean, believe it or not. 2 of Swords, stalemate, uncertainty. Yeah, of course, because right now we're at a standstill. You know, there's this forced, our hands are being forced, tied. You're hanged up, you're hung up. You can't make any moves right now. You're not able to choose anything right now. Why? Because you're not going within enough yet. You're still undecided about trusting yourself as God. I trust myself. I trust my journey. Even when I don't know what's happening, I trust myself. I trust the authority of myself. Even when I'm uncertain and I don't really understand, I'm at a stalemate. I can't make any moves and I'm uncertain. But I take my uncertainties and my fears and my emotional confusions and the feeling of loss and betrayal over what should have been my happiness or my fulfillment. And what I do, I transform it. I take the beast within, and I use my sword of truth to honor my inner integrity, because I am the Hierophant, and spirit is me. I am spirit. This body, everything I am is God, is the divine, is my sovereignty, is my freedom. Through the knowing, reading the symbols, the quietness. Where's the Hanged Man? You will learn through the silence. Pull back. It's okay. The reason why you're so emotionally confused and feeling as though you got betrayed on something is because you are not trusting. You're still uncertain about yourself as a sovereign God. You still don't understand that you are making this journey for yourself so that you are the master of all the strength, you know, inner strength, truth and integrity, and cutting the bullshit. No fluff. No more of these old ways. We're getting through some pretty powerful things, you know. I definitely think that this year has changed all of us. All right, let's get some more information. What would you like us to know, Spirit? Queen of Wands. Allow this time to fuel your passion, because a lot of us are kind of dealing with this Two of Swords uncertainty or the stalemate, right? Because we are in the Hangman period. Maybe there's still some things that there's just nothing you can do about it. You can go within and get creative though. Feel the passion and the drive within the fire of your solar plexus, you know. Honor the inner vibrancy that you have. Do some sacral. I'm hearing sacral here, healing, sacral chakra, orange, sacral music. Dance. Get those hips moving. Get passionate. Because if there's nothing that you can do sitting at home, you can at least dance. Like, shake your bum bum in your living room. Nobody got to see you. Get sensual with yourself as we're pulled back. Tap into the creativity. I just seen a video. I'm Hotep, 13 Signs Astrology, but basically learning how to harness our Kundalini, our sexual energy, because that's creative. You don't always have to have sex to feel beautiful or sexy. Like, you harness this. Like, sometimes it's just moving the body, or it's something that you feel really passionate about while you're sitting in your reflection, you know. Let that juice you up. Let that fire you up. You know? Especially if you're just kind of, why didn't this happen? What's happening here? This is so confusing. Like, what the hell is this actually about? I don't really know what to do. I feel betrayed and lost. Where's my happily ever after? Is this my ego? You know, do I really have to deal with this again and again? Like, where am I being, like, maybe unforgiving and cold, you know? Where can I honor the truth of myself? Where am I standing in old ways, but also, like, showing others the new way, a new way of being, a new creative way, passionate and sexy and fun and vibrant and loyal and, you know, harmonious and a good time? Where can we bring that forward, you know? Spirit is saying that where can we take our emotional confusion, starting with the Seven of Cups. Oopsies. And bringing our Queen of Fire, our Queen of Wands power to this. What would happen? You bring a Queen of Fire to this Seven of Cups. Woo! That looks like a lot of fun and passion to me. A lot of fun and passion putting these two together, you know. Let's get one more advice. Advice from Spirit, from your higher self to yourself. What is the advice? Any ideas? Any ideas? Any advice that you want to pop out? Because I will pick. I just wanted Spirit to go ahead. Okay. Oh. Wow, we got the King of Wands and the Three of Cups. That's so funny. I swear I just said what would happen if the Queen lit up all of these 7 cups, right? And then we got 3 cups, which actually leads us to, oh my God, what is it? The 10 cups, right? Like, we had the 10 cups. And we also got the counterpart for the Queen. So, Shine. Shine. Bring your own 10 of Cups. Bring this vibrancy, this fire, this creativity to the joy that you naturally are. 3 of Cups to me is like a card of Ohana, as family, of celebration, of good times. Wow, that's just amazing in my mind. I'm hearing how you balance this energy. Actually, let me do it like this. Gotta love cards, right? Because you can always like play with them. You bring in this, first of all, balancing the masculine and feminine is so important right now. If you're still like, oh, this man or this woman, you got to go inside and look at like, well, what are the issues within myself against masculine, or what are my issues within myself against feminine? Because balancing the king and the queen within yourself is absolutely going to bring emotional fulfillment. 7 plus 3 equals the 10. So if anyone is still feeling like, where the fuck I feel betrayed over my emotional like fulfillment, balance. Balance. The 7 and the 3 make the 10. And how are we balancing that? With our king and queen energy of fire and passion, creativity and balance, the sacral. I am, wait, no, I'm sorry. Is it I feel? Sorry, I can't remember what the sacral is right now. I think it's I feel. You're bringing this about when you step into your king of fire and your passion and what brings you joy and vibrancy, whatever makes you smile vibrantly. That is what your 3 of Cups is. That's your joy and your satisfaction. 3 cups up, you know? The Holy Trinity. I'm hearing that again. The Holy Trinity. That was within man. Within man is the Holy Trinity of spirit. Where's the Hierophant? Within man, learning the Hierophant, the symbolism within man is the spirit. Within man. Actually, man is spirit. There is no man without spirit. Unless, of course, I guess you could get into like the cloning alien stuff nowadays, but most of us, I believe, are spirit. Most of us have souls. Like, I don't know if I've ever met a clone. I'm not going to go off on my weird tangents. But I believe in it, of course. I believe in it. I don't know how clones have souls or whatever. I'm talking about us that are here to do the work. And if there are clones out there watching this and you're like, wait, I have a soul. Good for you. You know what? You channel in that light energy. I'm not here to judge. That shit's emotionally confusing to me right now, too. Like, I'm like, holy shit, with this great awakening, what information is actually going to come out, you know? There's a lot. It goes deep. Doesn't it, my loves? This healing is very deep and very hard and confusing for us. But you know what? We shine our king energy. We step into the return of the solar king is what I'm hearing. And look at the celebration. We have good times. Ohana. Family. You know, the emotional confusion ends when we balance our inner polarities, like honoring ourselves, going within and balancing our inner lions, right? Like the fire, our inner lions, being the lion, the lioness, the God, the king, honoring those traits within us, you know? We do need to examine where we feel betrayed, where we feel uncertain and insecure, where we feel that maybe the divine hasn't been honored within us, where we haven't honored the divine who we are. We haven't been truthful about like what is emotionally draining and what is fulfilling. Get real. It's okay, guys. Balance. You just harmonize within yourself and know that you will ride out. Like, this is all the test, you know, we're being tested, and there's nothing that we can do except honor ourself. And I really see like the king and queen and the happy times, and it's just crazy that the 7 and the 3 would come out, because the 10 of Cups, emotional and happiness and fulfillment is really what we want. Like, that's everybody under the rainbow. Yes, I can. Yes, yes. Decisions can be made when we are confused or even in a stalemate. Sometimes there's really literally nothing you can do. Your hands are tied. You know, that hangman, your hands are tied. What do you do in those moments? You go within and you balance out those energies. You balance them out. The king and the queen, you bring those together. You take your emotional confusions and maybe you take some time to be with people that make you feel at home, or energies that make you feel like at home and celebrated. You know, to combine the 7 and the 3 combine to make the 10, you know. Honestly looking at feeling the loss, or is it just kind of time to move forward, right? Wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge and creativity and passion. Love yourself as you would others. Treat yourself as you would treat someone. I'm hearing like a child, you know, the Father, the Mother, and the Son. The Holy Trinity, again, I'm hearing it. Anytime there's emotional confusion, just honor your Holy Trinity within. Go within, you know. Honor yourself. Honor your strength. Honor that you are the king and the queen of your desires, of your passions, of your life. You can choose your satisfaction, however that it looks. And you know, in these times when we feel betrayed by the setbacks, trust in the divine, okay? Trust in your divine self. Where was the Hierophant? Because it's really this setback or this somewhat betrayal or loss, or, you know, maybe there's not an emotional fulfillment. You're not getting what you want. It's like the cold truth is, you know, it's just not happening right now. It's because there's inner work. And that's okay. And that's good. That's even better. Like I always say, you don't want like half. If you're exhausted, like I just did thing for my sister too as well. Like if you're tired, like what will you attract? You need to be happy and whole and ready to celebrate. So balance, you know, balance your emotional confusion. Honor your inner journey of taming what these challenges are. You're taming it. You're becoming the best that you can be. And even better. I don't even think there's going to be an end to this. Like we're always going to keep growing and getting more into like our sovereignty. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I love you guys. I hope this was fun. I'm sorry that my body's all in it, but hey, it is what it is. See you next time.